Alright, Brush Monkeys, we're back, and this week we are painting Ankou, the Barbarian hero from Reaper Miniatures. Now, last week, you might remember, we painted Brand Oathblood, and as you can tell with the two side by side, they're kind of the same guy. There's a lot of similarities between the two. But this guy's going to be painted with the Dorado skin triad, so he's going to be a little bit paler skin. I'm going to be Dorado skin as the base. I thought with this pale skin, the Dorado or the strong skin tone is way too much. The soft skin tone might not be enough. So for this one, I'm using, oops, knock everything over here. Good grief. I'm using Army Painter's Flesh Wash Quick Shade, which is kind of a nice reddish brown. It's sort of halfway between the soft skin and the strong skin tone. This is their regular flesh wash. This is not included in the flesh tone set, so this is a separate thing, but I think it's going to work out nicely here. And then I've got amber skin for the layer, and then we're doing opal skin for the highlights, which is really pale pink. I might mix this with the amber skin to do the highlights rather than just go straight on with it. And then his hair is going to be Wraithbone with high end in yellow. The steel is all going to be done with Gravelord Gray and Necron Dry Brush, so that'll be a sword blade, his axe blade, a little mug over here. This big belt through the middle, I'm going to do the same way as I did Brand Oathblood, where I'm going to paint it with Vallejo Model Air Chrome brushed on, and then paint Iron in yellow over the top of that. His leathers are going to be snakebite leather and hardened leather, just to switch them up a little bit. The fur is going to be Gorgrunta fur. So I'm almost out of them. I'm going to need to find the Army Painter equivalent of that pretty soon. I've got dark wood for his axe handle here. And then doing those base pretty much the same way I did Brand Oathblood here. It's going to be muddy soil with a dry brush of Sylvanas bark. And then some texture paste put on for snow, and that's going to be washed with the Apothecary white and then dry brushed with Praxetti white. But the main focus is going to be the skin tone as usual, so I'm going to go ahead and go base that, and then we will come back and see how he looks. Alright, see you soon. Bye. Alright, so now we got the base coat of Dorado skin on there, and this one always kind of, as a base coat and then with the shade wash over it, always turns a little bit orange to me, but I like it. It's a nice ruddy skin tone. It's about equivalent to Kislev Flesh, if you're familiar with the Citadel line paints. It's pretty close to that. Again, I know I say this every video, but like most of the Army Painter paints, it required 2 coats of paint to get a nice even coat on there, but it looks pretty good. I'm going to shade wash it next, and then we'll start in on the layering and the highlighting. So I think this guy's going to turn out pretty well. So see you soon. Bye. Alright, so now we've got the shade wash on him. You can see he's looking quite a bit more orange. That flesh wash from Army Painter does have kind of an orange tint to it more than a reddish brown tint. There is some reddish brown to it, but yeah, it leaves a very, very orange back tint to it, for lack of a better word. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead once this dries and go back over it with the Dorado skin again, just to reapply that base layer, and then we'll layer and highlight up from there. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye. All right, so now you can see that our guy with the Dorado skin layered back in there, and you can see how that flesh wash has defined all those muscles and really looks pretty spiff. And you only need 1 layer to bring back that Dorado skin, so it's not necessary to go over 2 layers again. So I'm going to continue with the layering with the amber skin and the opal skin in highlights, and I'm going to do each one of them as probably kind of a blend. Like I'm going to blend the Dorado and amber, and then I'm going to do amber, and then I'm going to blend amber and opal, and then do opal as the final highlights. So I'll come back after each one of those steps to show you how it looks. Alright, see you soon. Bye. Alright, there's the first layer with the Dorado and Amber mixed. And it's coming out pretty good. So next up we're going straight Amber. And I'll see you in a minute. Bye. Alright, there's that boy with the straight amber skin put on there. Amber skin is a great color for painting Asian skin tones because there's just a little tinge of yellow in there, but it still looks fairly light skinned. It's not quite white, but it's not like a cartoonish yellow. Like make them look like a Simpsons character kind of thing. So up next, we're doing the opal skin, and I'll be honest, I hardly ever use the opal skin because it's really pale. So it's going to make this guy look pretty pale. I'm going to mix that with the amber and do the next layer, and then the final highlights will be with just straight opal skin. So we'll see how that looks. All right, see you soon. Bye. Okay, there's the mix of amber and opal skin, and you start to see he's looking fairly pale now. I think the opal skin I'm just going to touch just a little bit on the upper half of the biceps and shoulders here, tops of his hands maybe, just to kind of bring out that extra highlights. But he's coming along. See you soon. Alright, so I applied those final highlights with the opal skin, and our board is looking pretty pale, which, you know, again, he's zenithal prime, so parts of him are going to be darker. That's understandable. Once I get the rest of the furs and leathers and everything like that done, he's going to look quite a bit better. But you can see, even compared to the other version of him, the Bran Oathblood, he's quite a bit paler. So I'm going to do his hair next. His hair is going to be, I'm going to make this one blonde, but just because he looks too much like Bran Oathblood. So that's going to be Wraithbone and then Iandon Yellow. And I'm going to go ahead and do his belt there too, because the Vallejo Model Air Chrome is going to need to be gone over with the Iandon Yellow. So I'm going to base both of those, and then we'll come back and do the Iandon Yellow over the top of them when they're done. So I'll see you soon. Bye. Alright, so as you can see, I've got his metallics all based. Got his the belt I'm doing the same as the Bran Oathblood, where it's going to be the Vallejo with the Iandon Yellow over it. The hair is also going to have the Iandon Yellow over it. Also went ahead and did his bracers, his sword, the hilt and pommel, the axe, the pommel of his axe, hilt and pommel of his little dagger here, and his mug. Basically all the metallics are based. So I'm going to go ahead, and you can see some of that is still wet, like his axe blade right there. I'm going to go ahead and let that dry, and then we will come back and do the metallics, and then we'll do the leathers and his hair and all that kind of fun stuff. So he's looking pretty good so far. Like I was turning out. But I think once I get all the rest of this done, you can kind of see already that he's going to be quite a bit paler than his counterpart here. Once I get all the rest of the metallics and golds and everything done, he's going to stand apart a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to take a break and let that finish out, and then oh, sorry about that. My camera battery died before I finished recording that. Like I was saying, we're going to finish out the metallics and his hair, and then we'll come back and see how he looks. And then we'll get on with his leathers and furs and so on and so forth. But this is going to be the last miniature I paint in this series, and then the next video is going to be a wrap-up of the paint set and some other colors you can add to it to kind of round out what all paints you can, or what all skin tones you can do. Kind of cover the full spectrum of human skin tones. But we'll get to that in a little bit. For right now, I'm going to take a little break. We'll come back and finish his hair and the metallics, and then we'll go from there. All right, see you soon. Bye. Okay, so I got his hair and his metallics done. The hair looks a little weird to me. It kind of looks like he's, and it may just be that, you know, compared to the like Conan look of the dark-haired Cimmerian over here, a little paler-haired brother looks a little like he's wearing a wig. But I got the, you see the leather trim on the falls based. The whole thing's going to be done in leather, but that's going to help those parts turn out a little lighter leather. Same with the grip on his sword. The lining of the fur. The fur is all going to be Gorgrunta fur, so it's going to be kind of reddish brown. And I still have the handle of his axe here to do in dark wood. I might do the axe handle and the sword grip in the same dark wood, and then do all the leathers. But yeah, let's go ahead and go do those, and then we'll come back and see how it looks. All right, see you soon. Bye. All right, we got the wood grips of his weapons, and the dagger at his waist there done. Got all the furs and leathers done. You can see all that's still wet, so we're gonna take a pause and let that dry, and then we'll come back and finish them up, because we just got the base left to do. Base is going to be done the same way as his brother here. I'm going to be doing muddy soil from Reaper, and dry brush it with a little bit of Sylvanus bark, and then put on some texture paste, Vallejo texture paste. Give that a wash of the Apothecary white, and then dry brush Praxetti white, and then we'll call it done. Kind of the same way we usually do the bases. So this guy came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with him. So next time you see him, he'll be completely finished. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye. Alright, brush monkeys, there is our finished Ankou Barbarian hero from Reaper Miniatures, showing off the last triad of the Army Painter skin tone set. I think it came out really well. I'm really happy with them. And here's all the Barbarians repainted with the skin tone set and their triads. I think they all turned out really fantastic. This is a great set for painting skin tones. It's a great starter set. If you've never painted other ethnicity skin tones than white, this is a great set to get to at least start out dipping your toes in the water of painting other ethnicities. I think they turned out really fantastic. Next week we will be looking at some other paints from mostly Vallejo, but also Reaper, to get into broadening your range of skin tone paints. So I think will be good. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom here. If you like what you see, click like down below, and if you want to be notified when new videos get posted, click subscribe. And in the meantime, if you want to support us in any way, check me out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. We're on all those platforms. If you see a miniature on the site that you want to make one of your own, hit me up on Instagram. I can quote you a price for that. And if you want any Flying Monkey Studios merchandise, like t-shirts, things like that, hit me up on storefrontier.com/flyingmonkeystudios and get all your merch there. thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.